My last video showed a deputy I called Officer Friendly Eyes, threatening a young guy who had been jumped by a bunch of local guys at a bar. Disclaimer, for the small amount of people who are not aware that Friendly Eyes was not his real name, it's not technically his real name. His actual name is Tony Link, and I knew that name sounded familiar. It was probably because he's already been featured in one of my videos, though he really only made a cameo appearance of sorts in that video. Did you see the one where my client was shot through the closed front door of his home? Well, that's the video. I also received a submission showing a traffic stop featuring Officer Friendly Eyes, where he tries to illegally detain and arrest a sober guy for DUI. But first, yes, I do have a video, if you didn't know, of a guy being shot by a police officer through the closed front door of his home. I'll link that in the description, but here's what happens after the shooting. The officer who fired the shots tells the sheriff when the sheriff arrives that Tony told him to shoot. Tony then immediately throws his colleague under the bus.
Nah, he saw me in the back here and I couldn't see anything. Tony was walking up holler, shoot. I thought you said shoot. I didn't say shoot. Somebody was saying shoot me or shoot him.
So here you hear the first rendition of the shooter's version of events about what happened. He said that another police officer, this guy Tony, who's wearing plain clothes here, was walking up behind him or running up behind him, and Tony had told him to shoot. Shoot, shoot. And Tony says, I didn't tell you to shoot. Now he's about to tell what happened for the second time. Same story as he told the first time.
Somebody said shoot, and it was either me or him. I don't know if it would shoot him or shoot me. I heard shoot. When I walked up, I seen you crash my something, and I come bailing. Next thing I know, as soon as I come around the front, you start to move, you're saying, show me your hands, and next thing I know, bat. As soon as I gave the order for him to open the door and let me see his hands.
The officer still has his dash cam recorder on his person, so it's still recording all the audio. You're about to hear the West Virginia State Trooper, who was assigned to investigate this police shooting, come up and talk to this officer for the first time. He tells the exact same story for the third time.
And it was muffled, and it was either, I know I heard shoot, and it was either shoot him or shoot me. But I heard it twice, and that's when I shot. But I don't know who said it, because it was muffled. Just get it all together. I'm going to be starting to work the thing, so Scott gets up there, we might get the guys from Mark first, if I know everybody, but like I was telling Ben, some of the stuff I've read before, I don't know if it's a good thing for somebody once they've been involved in a shooting to make a statement right away. There's pros and cons. Are you recording anything? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I haven't turned it off. Okay. There's pros and cons to it, as far as, sometimes they're saying you're hyped up right now and you may say something that didn't happen or you may word it wrong, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to go ahead. It's pretty clear right now in my head. Right. I mean, maybe you wouldn't jot down some notes or something, so you don't forget anything.
So the officer supposedly investigating the shooting is basically telling him to shut up, and he doesn't want to shut up.
I don't know. I thought I was, when I pulled in, as soon as I got up there, I saw somebody at the door. That's when I took a look. Well, at least I did find a round in the wall, recently punched hole in the wall. Do I need to keep recording or do you want me to turn it off? Okay, turn it off.
Setting Friendly Eyes aside for a moment, this footage is actually really important. It shows you two things. One, after you're involved in a shooting, you should do like the police themselves do, which is shut up and lawyer up before giving a statement. Two, you get to witness something here that probably happens all the time, but usually the cops are smart enough not to record it happening. A cover-up where they're all getting their stories straight and investigating each other. As I explained in the door shooting video, the subsequent written statement that was produced by the shooter said nothing about Tony telling him to shoot, which is obviously a problematic justification for a shooting. Instead, he writes that he saw a gun. I'm not even kidding you. You may want to bookmark that footage for future reference. It really is astounding. Now back to Officer Friendly Eyes. Here's some footage that I was provided showing him at a traffic stop. He pulls a guy over for expired inspection sticker. It does appear to be expired if you just look at the sticker. But once he runs it, the registration shows that it has been renewed. Just no sticker yet. And so once he discovers this, Link does not just send the driver on his way. Even though the reasonable suspicion for the stop has been cleared up, there's no additional reasonable suspicion present of criminal conduct, so Friendly Eyes does what cops do. He just makes it up.
Is that recording?
Yeah.
Good. So what's your issue, Mr. Schrader?
I don't answer questions.
You know?
No.
Why not?
I don't answer questions.
Why don't you step on out so I can give you some field sobriety test?
I do not consent to a field sobriety test.
Why don't you step out?
You want me to step out? Okay. Why am I being detained?
So I want to give you field sobriety. That's why.
Okay. I do not consent to a field sobriety test.
You don't?
No,
Why
I
not?
don't. I don't answer questions.
Are you one of those sovereign citizens?
No, I'm not a sovereign citizen. I will answer that question.
Okay. Then what's your main malfunction here today?
I'd like to speak to your supervisor, please.
Why is that?
Because you pulled me over for an inspection sticker.
Mm-hmm.
You see that the vehicle has
Mhm.
just been registered.
Still valid stop. Have a reason to look at your ID
Yes.
and your insurance. Run your license. Make sure you're valid.
Okay.
And then when I'm sitting there talking to you, it smelled like what I detected was alcohol. So I just want to give you a field sobriety test. Make sure you're good to go.
Tony, I haven't drank alcohol in I don't know how long, years.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, and I've not had no alcohol in this truck.
Okay. Then maybe I'm off, but if I detect it, then
And
why
wait a
can't-
minute, the wind is blowing what, 15 mile an hour that direction?
I don't know.
You know, it's about 15 mile an hour. I know.
Okay.
I would like to speak to your supervisor, please, because I'd like to be free to go.
He's going to tell you, just consent to the test and be done with it. If you haven't had anything drank and you're good to go, you're good to go.
Okay. But I'm not consenting to a field sobriety test. There's no law saying I have to.
You're right.
Okay. So what's your probable cause to hold me here?
I'd like to give you a field sobriety test. Make sure you haven't been drinking. Do you have your seatbelt on?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'd like to speak to your supervisor.
Stand by.
Thank you. You guys don't have body cams? Oh, you do in your mic? Huh?
Recording.
You also have one in your car?
Sure do.
Good.
That's good. I haven't done anything wrong. But
Why are you still holding me here?
because I've explained to you.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good. How can I help you?
I just like to know why he's holding me here, you know? I just like to be free to go. I've done nothing illegal. You know, I understand why he pulled me over because of the inspection sticker.
Right.
But, you know, I just tagged the vehicle and I'm legal. So he sees that on his paperwork and I just like to be free to go, you know?
Have you complied with what he's asked you to do?
Complied with.
Well, I don't know. I just got here.
He asked me to do a field sobriety test, and he told me he smells alcohol in the vehicle. Now, I don't drink, all right? I haven't drank in a long time. Do you smell alcohol on me?
Well, I just pulled up and the winds are blowing.
You
so-
want, no,
No, I'm
downwind from me?
I'm talking to you.
All right. I don't drink.
Okay.
All right. And he's just, not used to things. He just, I don't know. Actually, I've met Tony before, but I'm sure he don't remember that incident. But, maybe he does. Maybe that is why he's just holding me here. But I'd just like to be free to go. Can I be free to go?
All right, let me talk to him real quick. And,
Okay.
all right, I'll get right back with you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You still live there, advisor?
I don't answer their questions.
That's fine.
All my information's on my ID.
Okay. Well, that's all I was just asking. See if you still live there. That's all.
Okay.
Because I go up and down by you. See me all the time, right?
I sure do.
Okay. You're good
I'm
to
sure
go.
you see me there once in a while too.
I do. That's why I'm just asking. Yeah. There's your info, sir. You're free to go.
All right. For the public records, I'd like copies of his body cam and his dash cam. It's public record, sir.
No, it's not. Not unless it's a court case.
I assure you, it's public record. All right.
If you get a subpoena, you can have them.
I don't need a subpoena. Trust me.
You're free to go, sir.
Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
This sort of looks familiar. Officer Friendly Eyes, who appears to have been working at the Berkeley Springs Police Department at that time, he just wants to escalate and retaliate. Maybe the driver wasn't respecting his authority enough for his tastes. Maybe it was the fact that the driver began to film him. But for whatever reason, he wants to abuse his power. He wants to teach the guy a lesson. Anywhere we have given any amount of discretion to police officers, they have abused it. DUI arrests are one such area. Officer Link wants to give the driver field sobriety tests, probably just because he thinks he can. The driver doesn't even drink, and it's just a pretext to get him out of the car and to harass him. From there, maybe he can arrest him for obstruction charges, or maybe search him and find something, or maybe just see if the driver's attitude changes to the submissive attitude that the officer was apparently expecting out of his traffic stop victims. Perhaps he would have arrested a sober driver just to put him through the ride. I've seen that happen many times in West Virginia and elsewhere. Fortunately, it was just in the news that one of these officers that does this sort of thing in Fort Collins, Colorado, was just fired after his innocent victims decided to take legal action against him. Within the span of about a year, Officer Jason Haferman with the Fort Collins Police Department arrested 9 innocent people for DUI when subsequent tests proved that they had 0% alcohol in their system.
You know why I'm contacting you?
Not a single clue.
And how much alcohol have you had tonight?
Nothing. I'm on probation, so.
Okay.
And good for them. I'll definitely follow along on that one. If anyone has any links to any more of the body cam footage for those 9 false arrests by Officer Haferman, please send them my way. By the way, I personally experienced this once in college, where one of my roommates was arrested for DUI as we returned home from studying at the library. I knew he had nothing to drink, but the guy, it arrested him anyways. He got out the next day, 0% alcohol in his system. And that's one of the things that pushed me into this career path. Anyways, I just wanted to give you some additional footage that I had acquired of Officer Friendly Eyes. There will be a part 3, so stay tuned. I want to thank you for putting me over 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have some big things in the works, so I'm really happy to have you follow along. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.